Hey, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. Welcome to this episode for Spiritual Freedom Saturday. Put my teeth back in. So, Spiritual Freedom Saturday, if you are new to me, Spiritual Freedom Saturday is where I talk about spirituality and business success. I've just got a notification to say that I've gone live on YouTube. That is nice. So hopefully you can hear me, you can see me, you can feel me. If you're not new to me and you know about the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, you'll know that I encourage you to journal every single day for your spiritual business success. If you're a light worker, a spiritual entrepreneur, a service-based business owner, then you'll know about manifesting and you'll know about the law of attraction. But underneath the law of attraction, we know that there is the law of vibration. So that is what we're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about listening to that guidance, raising our own vibration, and following the nudges from the universe and doing things with ease, grace, and flow rather than forcing things. If you know anything about me, I'm not someone who will push, and force. I'll try things on, I will visualize them and see how it fits in alignment, in accordance with my vision. And if it doesn't, I take it off and leave it there. And then I move on and I move forward. And I feel like life is like that for me. And I'd invite you to do the same. Try things on, see if they fit. And if they don't fit, if they're not feeling in alignment, they don't feel good, then you have full permission from your soul guidance to let it go. Sometimes it's about learning things and sometimes it's about unlearning things. And often I talk about allowing things, letting things in, but also letting things go. So welcome. Let me know where you're watching from and if you are new to me, and I will bring up comments on. You came onto the YouTube channel. Thank you. Shamanic Soulstar TV, Cosmic Inner Healing with Kalini. So Kalini is joining us live on the YouTube channel. So I stream this out live on my YouTube channel and the socials and then repurpose it for a YouTube podcast. And Kalini Soulstar, Shamanic Soulstar TV, Cosmic Inner Healing, your YouTube channel, we actually have collaborated in a joint vision, and she's actually our lead soul guided instructor. So amazing things are unfolding for us both, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. So happy Spiritual Freedom Saturday. Yes, thank you. With the prayers, the rainbows, and the purple hearts, they're absolutely my emojis. I resonate with those so deeply. So today, and again, if you're new to me, the format of this YouTube podcast, it's a very practical podcast, meaning that I have my journal. I call it the Soul Legacy Journal, Spiritual Awakening Stories of 365, a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. I'm the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy and host of the Soul Legacy TV. And I have something called the Soul Legacy Movement. And that for me is for us as light workers, as service-based business owners, as spiritual entrepreneurs, to launch, lead, and leave our soul legacy and do it with ease, grace, and flow. And we tap into our soul guidance. We tap into the spirituality, the spiritual essence of who we are just coming to this earthly plane to express our soul calling. And oftentimes I believe that when we are on this spiritual awakening path, we forget to give ourselves grace. And I think that's the theme for today. Kalini and I have had conversations, and I was talking about grace. And I say moving with ease, grace, and flow. So what I am going to do today is talk about visualization, talk about how you launch and lead your day, how you can follow that soul guidance, bring that spiritual, your intuition, the nudges, how you know how to follow that soul guidance, what it feels like for you. For me, it's that inner knowing. We have many clairs, right, that we will follow. There's the 4 main clairs, and you might have that voice, that seeing, the different senses to follow that soul path, right? We're traveling that soul path to spiritual business success. And I've been talking about this throughout the week of not following what looks like success for others. What is the success internally for you? And so when you go into that internal GPS and tune into your soul guidance and that soul flow, for me, you can't go wrong. But we forget sometimes. We're going to be talking about the book that I have been listening to today, which is Ask and It Is Given. I was listening to that on my daily walk. Always nuggets from that. And then this book, Make It Happen, Manifest the Life of Your Dreams. And so there's a story behind this book, which I'll pick it up throughout this episode. What else are we going to do? I'm going to invite you to my Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. As light workers and spiritual entrepreneurs, service-based business owners, we have a calling. When we go for our awakening, I don't believe that it's just for our own pain and suffering. It's actually to turn those wounds into wisdom and to gather what is our ascension tools and turn what it is that we've learned, use that spiritual alchemy process to give back in the world. So I want to talk to you and share with you how I can support you in that journey. And also I have the card for today. I have two. I have yesterday's card and today's card. So let's dive into the episode. And what I want to do is ask you how you feel today. Do you feel in what I call soul funk or soul flow? And every single day we bring spiritual freedom into each area of our life. And so that's why I ask, how do you feel? Are you in flow? Meaning, like, is everything just popping? Dots are connecting? Like, you're just on point? You just feel in alignment? You just feel guided? You feel high vibe? You feel like, yes. And if you don't, then that's okay. But if you do, when you do, you'll notice the difference between soul funk and soul flow. And I want to say that when you start journaling and you're journaling your thoughts, your feelings, and the in soul inspired actions that you're taking or not, you'll tune into that faster. You'll know what that soul flow feels like, and you'll know the things that are blocking that soul flow. So those are the things for me that we can address and that we can learn from. So how do you feel today? So if you are new to me, I have a spiritual business vision board challenge, right? And I talk about the 7 areas that I cover on this podcast, the 7 areas for your life, your light work and your lifestyle to manifest more life work balance. And so when we talk about these 7 areas, and I'll name the 7 areas so you're really clear on how we're bringing that ease, grace and flow into every area of our life and every decision that we make. So the spiritual business vision board challenge, I talk about that soul funk and that soul flow and that intentional living. So if you want a detailed explanation about what I mean, then I will leave the link in the cards, in the show notes, in the description for you, so you can check out that. So every single year I go live and I do my spiritual business vision board challenge, excuse me, and the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, because we live life. I'm going to have a drink. Hang on. Excuse me. And I have to do that slowly because I then choke myself. We live life vibrationally first. In other words, they're trying things on and visualizing and being in alignment with our vision, because our mind thinks in vision first, in images first. So being in alignment with the vision and doing the vision board challenge will help you to get clear on these each area of your life. Let the universe know, hey, this is what I want to manifest. Ask and it is given. This is what I'm asking for. This is what I want to experience in each area of my life. And this is the gap. Then we see the gap. And then we want to raise our vibrational frequency so we're feeling in alignment with that vision, if that makes sense. So for me, that's what manifesting is. That's what spirituality is. It's not necessarily, we might use tools and things to guide us, but really for me, it's just raising our vibration. So I'll talk about the different areas of your life that you might want to put on your vision board with me if you do that challenge. And Kalini, I know that in Shamanic Soulstar TV, you've done this. And this is where we began our journey. And this is why I begin the journey, because it's not down to me, like being a spiritual business coach and deciding what success is. it's not just about business. It's our soul calling. It's the things that we want to experience in life. We only get one in this lifetime. So for me, it's important decisions, and I don't coach anyone or mentor anyone if they are not clear on what it is that they want. I don't need to decide on what you want to experience. So I talk about contribution freedom on the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge, and then we put those images right on a vision board, and then we journal. So the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is to support you in living in alignment with that vision. If you're not clear with the vision, then, and it's not in alignment with your values, you can't raise your vibration to experience more of that. So contribution freedom is on a Monday, and that's the third day one of the vision board challenge. Day 2 is health freedom. Day 3, and that's Tuesdays, I talk about health and refer back to your vision for your health, what you have on your vision board. And again, if you haven't done my vision board challenge, this is not going to make as much sense. And if you've never done, if you've done a vision board, like, that's fantastic. But if you do my vision board challenge, I'm here to hold you accountable for raising your vibration and following through. Oftentimes we have this vision, we have all these big ideas, and we get distracted by all these big ideas, and it takes us off our path. So we want to be looking after our health, right? We don't want to be dropping off from that. And we all do at times, but I'm here for you. Emotional freedom is Wednesdays, and that's day 3 of the Spiritual Business Vision Board to manifest more life-work balance. Environmental freedom is day 3 for living intentionally, the environments that you want to be in, the environments that you want to work in. This is on my vision board speaking to you. This is part of my soul calling, right? I don't love camera. I never thought that I'd do a YouTube channel. I wanted to do it, but I was like, oh, no. But I know that it's a vehicle. I have a big vision to reach so many people. So here I am. And I want to travel all over the world. So here I am. Environmental freedom and relationship freedom is on Friday. That's day 5. Day 6 is spiritual freedom, and day 7 is financial freedom. Now, financial freedom, and we talk about this on Sunday and do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. We do it vibrationally first, because I know that many of my soul tribe and where I was feeling like I had money blocks, feeling I wasn't worthy, feeling like an imposter, feeling like I had fear of failure, success, and selling. So my emotions and how I thought about myself, my identity, did not match with my contribution, and it did not match with receiving money. That meant I had to do other things for money, including getting a soul-sucking day job, including all the things, night jobs, day jobs, working for somebody else. As a light worker who has a business, who wants to run a service-based business and become a spiritual entrepreneur, I like to say a soul-guided influencer, it doesn't sit well with us to be told what to do, stuck in the middle of the matrix, being pushed and pulled by a 9 to 5. It just doesn't. So when we are in alignment with what our soul has called us to do in terms of building a spiritual business and bringing the spirituality into receiving money, it just is a game changer. So Shamanic Soul Star TV says, Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge put the spark back in my soul and fired me up to get going again. Thank you. That's really beautiful. And that's what it's there for. When you've got doubt, you've got fear, you've got worry, the lower vibration, the lower vibrational frequency that are emotions, especially when we're going for a spiritual awakening, we're unsure sometimes of what to do next and how to do it. And like you've said before, it's like, well, I was just about ready to give up, and I've been there. So bringing and trusting that guidance and trusting that ease, grace, and flow, even when it looks like chaos is unfolding in your life. And I often talk about this, and I talk about this in my book, that chaos was unfolding in my life. You know, when you think of the law of attraction, everything's going to come to me. I'm thinking, I've stuck pictures on my corkboard, and it's going to come to me like, fantastic. Is it going to drop out of the sky into my world? I don't have to do anything. Do I have to think differently, feel differently, act differently? That's just the way the law works. I've asked for it and it's going to be given. Yeah. How's that working out for you, right? You've got to meet the vibration of that. And I know we know, but we forget. And we make up all these stories and we think, oh, the law of attraction doesn't work. We've been conned by all of the gurus. It's a natural law. It's a law of the universe. And we trust the universe in so many things. And what I know in the spiritual community is we've all got these ideas of what's being spiritual, being a spiritual person is, what spiritual people should do and shouldn't do, and how we shouldn't receive money for our gifts, and how blah, 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 blah. That's how I feel about it. But really, we're not practicing and being in alignment and in vibrational alignment with the spiritual laws. Because when we have a poverty consciousness and not a prosperity consciousness, which is part of my movement to support you in moving from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness, when we are thinking the thoughts, the feelings, and taking the actions in alignment with a poverty consciousness, doubt, worry, fear, all those things, we're actually at a low vibrational frequency in the spiritual community. So we're not doing birthing the light that we think that we're birthing the darkness. We're sitting in the darkness. We're contributing to the darkness. It's like, oh, there's so much darkness in the world. Well, your lower vibrational frequency is manifesting loads of shit in your life. So therefore, it's not grace. It's not moving in ease, grace, and flow. And that might sound really challenging. It's like, I don't know, who are you to tell me that? Well, we know. When we get really honest with ourselves, when we are vibrating at a lower vibrational frequency and pointing our finger at other people vibrating at a lower frequency, and we don't rise and reside at what I call the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency, yep, we're right over there with it. We're causing that as well. And when we take personal responsibility and accountability, I think some people call it spiritual bypassing, right? It's like, yeah, I don't have to take responsibility, and I just think it doesn't work. We know it doesn't work because there's a lot of us behind closed doors struggling and stuck and waiting to figure out, like, why is this not working for me? It's not working for you because you're not in alignment with the vision and in alignment with your own values. Maybe you're trying to fit other people's stuff into your life, or other people's methods that are not in alignment with your values, which make you feel like rubbish. I wanted to swear, make you feel like rubbish, which then sends you on this spiral. And it's not your fault. It's okay, but there is a different way. And I love Spiritual Freedom Saturday for that, because it has me reflect on what is going on in each of these 7 areas of my life. So let's explore how you feel, and if you feel in ease, grace, and flow in each of these areas of your life. So for intentional living, so contribution, how do you feel? Do you feel in flow? How have you been guided over this last week? For intentional living, for me, and the purpose of this YouTube podcast is for me to reflect on me. I am not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. But what I have done is created a journal and a system, and this is my video journal, every day to check in with my vibrational frequency and actually see, oh, how am I being guided? So contribution freedom. What's been going on for you over this last week? When we look back on Monday to Monday and we set intentions from this Monday to next Monday, what do we want to experience, right? Where is the ease, grace, and flow showing up for you? Where are the signs, the synchronicities? Have you expressed gratitude? We're going to express gratitude for all the things that are showing up in your life to support you in your contribution, how you feel called to serve, what's been showing up for you. And Shamanic Soulstar TV, Cosmic Inner Healing with Kalini. I know that you said on one of the days, I think it might have been Thursday, where you said, "Oh, I've got some good news, like something's going to show up." And lo and behold, and you've announced it on your Facebook profile, so I know I can share it, that you said, spirit moves in different ways, and actually you are going to be featured on a podcast talking about your spiritual gifts. And I love that. And it kind of just came. And when it seems to come out of the blue, it's because you're in alignment and we've been working together. And it's said that when you work on a specific area of your life, because your vibration is unclogged, other things can then come to you and you can see them. And when they come to you, you're not pushing them away. You're not pushing that opportunity away. You're ready to embrace it. And I love the way that you are ready to embrace that opportunity to contribute. You didn't have to go out there and force it. I teach, by the way, how to share your spiritual awakening story in my movement marketing media kit challenge. And you share your spiritual awakening story around your gifts and around your book and around your calling and around your spiritual awakening. And I have a YouTube challenge, a 7-day YouTube challenge on sharing your spiritual awakening story and creating a movement. And so for you to get that opportunity just ta-da, just like that, with questions and different things, it shows that you're in alignment. And I know the experiences that you've been sharing over this last few weeks, honoring the losses that you've had, it actually then just ties in. And oftentimes, and I'm sure that you won't mind me saying this, when we have triggers, so we're talking about ease, grace, and flow, and giving ourselves grace, when we go through spiritual awakenings, even if they're mini spiritual awakenings, and spiritual awakening, when I share the card, you'll get it today, just that increased awareness of what's been going on for us, or what like old patterns that we need to let go of, and things that we need to let in that support us more. When it looks like the universe is sending us something that is tripping us up, making us sad, making us like freak out, like and seemingly taking us off the path, actually when we flip it, we can see the gold, we can see the light. When it feels like a dark time, when it feels like hard, it feels like a challenge, then it's like, no, actually, shit, this is actually the thing that's supporting me in birthing my gifts even more and shining even brighter. And we talked about that today. And that's one of the things that I talk about and share, is when you're vibing high, right, along with me, and you're journaling, and you're raising your vibration, and you're at 11, we rate between a 1 and 11. So flow is 11, so funk is a 1, right, or anything else in between. And so when you vibe high, when something happens and you're like, boom, and you just drop in vibration, it feels like, it just feels like such a judder. It feels like, oh my God, what happened? But it's that contrast that then that bursts more light, and that helps you shine. It helps you vibrate even faster, like at a higher frequency. It's absolutely epic. And it pulls together whatever is going on for you to then up level. It's such a beautiful, it's an awakening. That's why I have this journal. So Colleen says, I'm so excited about doing this podcast, and it's so aligned. I love it. Yeah. And we are asking, and it is being given, but it's being given in ways where you're not begging the universe, you're surrendering, and that contribution. So in terms of my contribution throughout this week, I talk about contributing in your light work and your lifestyle, right? So the things merge. So things happen in our lifestyle that help us to contribute in our light work. For me, there's it's the same thing. What happens in my lifestyle, I actually share in my light work, right? Because it fuels me. I just like show up and speak out and serve deep. So what is happening in your health? How are you moving? And journal these things, acknowledge them, say thank you. We'll express gratitude to the universe. What's happening in your health? Are you moving in ease, grace, and flow with your health? What is showing up for you? What is showing up for you in your mind, your body, physical health, spiritual health, emotional health, environmental health, spiritual, did I say spiritual? Emotional health, like all the health, right? I know I've missed one out there, but your health, for me, as I talk about on the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge, we have a vision of what we want our health to look like and our well-being. What does that look like for you? Does it look like the best view being the best version of you? And if there's any gaps, we're going to talk about on this YouTube podcast how you can bridge that gap and how you can take soul-guided action on it. But just have that awareness of what's flowing to you. So for me, doing my workout, I dropped off intentionally, had a couple of weeks break, as I'm a lady that's 50 and resting, and my cycle was late, and I talk about that, might be too much information, but it's real for me. And so I just felt to rest, and then I've started back on my journey of doing my insanity workout. I've actually increased it, and I'm doing weights as well. And I just feel so alive. I've got such a spring in my step, which is like, but sometimes if we don't pause and we don't readdress and we don't assess and we just force, and I could have, I'm absolutely totally capable of forcing things, but that ease, grace, and flow and that soul guidance doesn't feel like a force. It feels like a pause. I'm eating better a lot. Oh my gosh, like off the charts, like really fueling my body again. And it feels absolutely amazing. So, are you looking after that self care? What's coming into your world that you need to pay attention to so that you can manifest that more life work balance? And again, you've said this, Kalini, that you have to, you can't pour from an empty cup. So is that sleep? Is that nutrition? Is that water? Is that your health is important? It's the biggest thing, right? Emotions. Where are you feeling in guidance with your emotional freedom? Have you been like a roller coaster? Have you been calm? Do you have a sense of inner peace? Where is that ease, grace, and flow? And if you don't feel in ease, grace, and flow, what is the trigger? What is the thing that's Untethered Soul is such a beautiful book to listen to understand the triggers and the prickles that that are there to be healed. And if you don't know that book, it's just such a brilliant book. Let's talk about moving in ease, grace, and flow, and that following that soul guidance in your environment. Is there anything in your environment that you're looking at all the time that you know you need to clear, let go of, that alter, to do? Any people in your environment, any objects in your environment? Are you going out in nature? Are you walking? Are you doing all the things that you really love to do to connect you back with your environment online, your environment, your internal environment, all those things? What you're looking at is the things that you need to clear up, as the things, signs that like this is no longer serving you. I love this journey because energetically our environment was like, it's a physical environment, but it's energetic, right? And so when we look at our vision board, for me, I've got travel on my vision board is one of the biggest things for me to mix up and change my environment. It's like, okay, well, I might not be in those environments, but I'm feeling like the version of me who is able to travel the world, who is able to experience different things, be able to manifest my bound conversion. But who do I need to be? The version of that I need to be first in order for that to align. There's no good in saying, well, I want to have this, this, and this, and you're never doing anything to be in vibrational match to that. You won't believe it. So relationship freedom is Fridays for your spiritual guidance, that soul guidance. I love relationship freedom Friday. It's just, and living intentionally in the relationship with us. I want to say that the grace, I give myself grace, you know, when you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, or things are not working out, or I feel like I'm an imposter or a fraud, or like I've got this big vision and who am I, or all those things, all those thoughts, those doubts, and those, that blocks our path, and it blocks us from saying yes to the relationships that serve us better. So, and by relationships, I mean soul client relationships, soulmate relationships, soul family relationships, joint vision partners, like getting featured. If we don't feel worthy of a romantic relationship, of looking after ourselves, being happy, if we don't, hey love, how you doing? Great rising, Sovereign Empress. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube videos and the podcast episodes. I've loved your comments and your feedback and your energy. It's lovely to have you on live. I'd love to know where you are in the world, actually. And it's Spiritual Freedom Saturday. I don't know if you've watched one of those episodes. I know you've watched different ones. And I'm talking about ease, grace, and flow, and bringing the ease, grace, and flow and the spirituality into each of those 7 areas that I talk about. And I know that you have your YouTube channel And I'd love to know what you're up to. And if you are in our community, I'd love to have you in there. So ease, grace, and flow in terms of relationships, ease, grace, and flow in terms of your spirituality, meaning what spirituality means to you is not about what it means to anyone else. And for me, it's that soul guidance. It's not looking at the world just through my humanness. Yes, we're here to live in this world, right? But for me, what is helpful for me is, yes, we have the conditioning, right? And all the things that are going on in the world. It's like, okay, when I tune into the soul guidance, and I don't know if you've done the spiritual business vision board, because this helps to frame it, but looking at the world through the lens of our soul, you know, they say that the eyes are the window to the soul, right? Looking at the world through the lens of your soul means that, for me, you move with that ease, grace, and flow. You don't get so attached to what is going on, because you know the truth of you, and you know the essence of your soul calling, and you know that you have a higher purpose to express on the earthly plane, right? So for me, I don't necessarily sweat all of the small stuff that some people might get hung up on and caught up on, and all the things. I want to move and leave my legacy, my soul legacy, and do it with ease, grace, and flow. And some of the things that we have to unlearn, and some of the things that we have to let go and allow, that serves us more. So ease, grace, and flow in terms of finances. Often this is a really big one. And I want to just say that it's just the same as any other area of your life. It's energy. Financial freedom, which I'll talk about on Sunday, sorry. This is why I do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, talking about money, so that we can try the money on banking 50K in 50 days vibrationally first, see who we be, and then manifest that in the physical. And so when I ask you guys, do you want to take the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge? I want to share with you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying soul clients online and do it with ease, grace, and flow. It's not about dragging anybody kicking and screaming. It's about honoring those soul contracts. And soul clients, for me, are the people that we're here to serve when we go through our spiritual awakening. Again, we're journaling and we're going through a spiritual awakening for a reason, like to birth more light. That darkness has so much light within that process. And when we gather our spiritual ascension tools and alchemize and then give back, that's, for me, is what we're here to do. We are not here to get caught up into the stuff. Do you know what I mean? Sovereign Empress says, I'm in the Mid-South, United States. Awesome. I just started a blog with my channel subscribers to share holistic spiritual experiences through essay form. I love that, through the writing. I love that. So sharing your spiritual awakening story, I do the journaling, and then I have a co-author book series, which my co-authors will be sharing their spiritual awakening story. So I do resonating with writing that, and I do believe that that helps other people. Do drop the link to whatever that is so we can check it out. And the spiritual experiences. I started out as a holistic life coach for women. And that's why I still talk about each of the areas of our life, because I do believe in that holistic approach to life. And I couldn't leave it out. I couldn't just talk about business. I couldn't just talk about receiving money. I had to talk about manifesting that life-work balance and coming from that holistic approach. So I love that. So I would love to check it out. And good for you, doing the blog and doing that. I love marrying the two things, the two forms of speaking and then also writing. So next part of the spiritual freedom, the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, what I am going to do is pull the card for today. And then I'm going to express gratitude. I'm going to talk about the book that I've been listening to today, Asking It Is Given, and Make It Happen, which Kalini and I, Shamanic Soul Star TV, we've actually got the same book, but she hadn't read it. And I was like, I'm going to spend some time reading this book today, manifesting. But let me share the card for today. So if you had a look at Relationship Freedom Friday, you will have seen that I pulled this card, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, Clancy's gonna love it, blah blah blah. And we shared on our coaching call yesterday about this card, Cosmic Gateway. And I'm not kidding, I was excited about this card, but when I shared it with Kalini, she told me the deeper meanings, and how in the reading of the card, because I read it out, how that actually connects to her gifts and her shamanic journey and her art. It was just absolutely epic, but it was just amazing. So I've got the card for today, and hopefully this will resonate with you, because when I pull a card, it's for me, but it's also for you. It's Spiritual Freedom Saturday. It's Master Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. Now, I've been laying in bed. I had a lay-in today, this morning, and I was talking about this very thing of trusting that I have a peace. I have a love that book. Have you started reading it? She's like, I've got it. I don't know how long you had it, but this manifested in my life when I came back to my hometown. And I've told this story that two of my nieces, my niece that I'm here working in her dining room, and they left it out for me. So I'm staying at my sister-in-law's, and the room was empty, and there was just this book. And I was like, that sounds right. And they know me enough to know. She cleared out her room, and she had this book, and she left it for me. And this book supports everything that I'm saying. Somebody said to me, one of my students said to me, would you write about the 7 freedoms? I'm like, I just don't feel called to. This book, if you don't have this book, telling you, it's gold. Shamanic Soulstar TV says, oh my God, that card pull was mind-blowing, wasn't it? So let's see what we get for today, right? All right, the Buddha. I can't say half of these names in this here. Right, okay, you would go know. Started his life as a rich, mollycoddled prince, but one day he broke free from the palace and was exposed to sickness, age, and death. Again, because that is what you will be talking about on your podcast, right? So this shook him and set him off on a spiritual adventure that would lead him to leave behind all his earthly pleasures and seek enlightenment, so that he could end suffering in the world. Now he helps us make contact with our inner teacher and encourages us to acknowledge how we feel and then accept it, so that we can move beyond the suffering we feel. That's exactly what we've been talking about. And so when you go through the dark night of the soul and you go for a spiritual awakening, it's like, what the heck is happening? But in order to be spiritually awake, we go through a spiritual awakening. We know that we want more people to be awake on the planet, but in order to be awake, we go through a spiritual awakening. Right? It's a gift. It's painful though. Can be. It's not always, but yeah. Extended message. You are moving beyond the illusions that fear has created, so that you can be more focused on your priorities and what is serving you on this path. All suffering eventually comes to an end, and acknowledging how we really feel and what occurred in order for you to feel this way will help you move beyond it. That is exactly what we've been talking about this week, and we were talking on our call, right? It is beautiful. I tend to feel quite swimmy. I want to say swimmy, just like, I don't know, the energy is like, that's how I feel. I feel swimmy headed when I read them. I'm like, and they say that when you'll get whatever card you're in alignment with, and I don't have the book. Oh, I'll have the book to show you, Keepers of the Light. So let me keep reading. Okay, hang on. Call on Master Buddha now to help you remember you are part of something that is greater than suffering. The wheel of karma is turning in your favor, and all acts of kindness and goodness will benefit you. Thoughts may arise now that solve issues in your life, home, relationships, or work. They are being sent to you from the inner teaching, the Buddha within. And so I say that, I was like, well, I was looking for my book, which I have in my hand, but the actual box fell off the side. But yeah, Keepers of the Light is absolutely beautiful, beautiful card deck. And I just love bringing that in to remember, actually, we are being guided and we do want to raise our vibrational frequency. So I was listening to Asking It Is Given today. If you're not familiar with this book, Asking It Is Given from Abraham Hicks, Learning to Manifest Your Desires. When we're asking and we do not feel that it is being given, that in and of itself is the problem, right? So it's a trusting, the spiritual freedom, it's a trusting and a knowing, like you know, like you know, like you know, even when life looks like crazy. We've got to go back and trust within, and that inner awareness. So for me, what it looks like launching my day, leading my day, and leaving my day, and doing it with ease, grace, and flow, and making things happen, is setting intentions, intentional living, and moving in alignment with that intention, regardless, even when I look like a crazy lady to the outside world. Do you know what I mean? Even when things don't look like they're actually manifesting, it's acting in alignment with that vision. Even when you can't see the physical, it's trusting in that, the vortex, right? It's trusting that it's there anyway. Do you do it? Do you trust for your contribution that it'll be okay? Do you trust in your health? Do you trust for your emotions? Do you trust for your environment? Do you trust for the relationships? Do you trust for your spiritual freedom? And do you trust for your finances? And if you answered yes to some and no to others, that's the area where you said no, not really, that you can use some work on. All right, before we express gratitude for the things that we do have and things that we are experiencing, what I want you to do, and what I invite you to do, is to journal again how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. Is it in alignment with your vision board? Right? How are you bringing spirituality into your morning routine? Right? Launching your day. That's my way of saying it. Your morning routine, how you launch your day. How you bring in spirituality and how you lead your day. It's not just that one moment. And how are you leaving your day? Right? And so we all have different ways, different tools. And sometimes it might be a prayer. Sometimes it might be silence. Sometimes it might be journaling. Sometimes it might be a healing. Sometimes it might be a meditation. Excuse me. What is it that will support you on a daily basis to feel that inner peace, to feel in alignment with your higher self? Like, not be pushed and pulled by the world, because the world will tell you, get up out of bed, set that alarm, get going, do this, do that. Like, and it doesn't always feel good. How are you waking up? That is your legacy now. Right? Because it's like, well, I want to leave this legacy. I want to do all the things. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Today is your legacy. Every single day is my legacy. How I show up, how I speak out, and how I serve deep. I have had a lot of losses in my life. We don't know when our time is up on this earthly plane. This day counts. Yesterday counted. The day before counted. Tomorrow will count. So how are we making the most of our day, right? So I talk about living an intentional life and actually carving out on our calendar, putting our legacy on our calendar, how you want to launch your day. So for me today, I actually am trying out getting back into that routine of putting that more ease, grace, and flow. And so I put the morning and the routines, and I'm like, okay, do I want to still do the same thing that I do on a Saturday as I do in the week? Do I want to have a slower day? And I did this morning, and I'm like, yeah, that feels really good. I'm going to adjust it. I don't living intentionally for me isn't like forcing things, a hard rule with yourself. It's like, what feels good? So I'm like, okay, so I'll do my workout. I'll do it a little bit later today. I'm going out for a meal with my soul daughter. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing that today. How your day is how you adjust your routine, but how you launch it regularly, consistently, is your legacy, is what is the seeds that you're birthing that will manifest later on. Even the book Atomic Habits, I don't know if you've read that. The book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he says the habits that we have now the incremental, tiny atomic little habits might not feel like they're making a difference, but actually, if you're eating wrong, like wrong, if you're eating junk, or things that are not healthy, or things that blah 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 don't feel good, eventually after a day, yeah, okay, after a week, after a month, after a year of doing that, you're gonna feel the effects of that. And so when we launch Lead and Leave Our Day, even if it doesn't look like it's making a massive difference, give ourselves a year, right? Because that's when we do the vision board challenge again annually. On the second week in December, I come back and I revisit, what did I do throughout that year? What did I do? How did I launch my day, lead my day, and leave my day? I'm holding myself accountable. This isn't just for you. This isn't a path just for you. It's for me first. And so I walk my talk. I'm like, I've got my vision to manifest right in December. What do I actually want to be saying between the December and the... So if I drop off, I'm like, that is not my vision. That is not the life that I want to manifest. Actually, I need to address and let go and have some healing around the things that are not serving me. It's just such a beautiful dance. So how you launch your day, leave your day, and leave your day. What soul-guided action steps do you need to take? 1 to 3 steps or things that you can either let go of or let in. Write that down in your journal between now and next Saturday, and come back next Saturday for Spiritual Freedom Saturday and let me know how it worked out for you. You can put in the comments what that would be. Actually, for spiritual freedom, how do I enhance that? For me, I will let you know. I've been launching my day, leading my day. I've been increasing my meditation and guided meditation. It's actually a guided meditation. Apologies. That was my alarm to tell me that I had something else to do. Oh, it was Chicken Soup for the Soul. Writing Chicken Soup for the Soul. I'll be doing some writing. I'm going to do it tomorrow. It's Saturday and Sunday. I've got to do a little bit today and some more tomorrow. Let me know if you can hear me. How you launch your day, lead your day. 1 to 3 things can you do? It might be just one thing. Okay, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to increase that. For me, is visualization, guided visualization on being a billionaire. I have a retreat in Dubai, Soul Guided Billionaires in the Making, a writer's mastermind retreat, and Soul Guided Millionaires in the Making in Thailand. And so my tapping, my EFT, tapping for $1 million. I have the business model for that. I'm like, okay, how do I let go of any resistance that's not obvious? How do I visualize that? Who will I be? Right? Sovereign Empress says my journey had to flip and seem backward. Yeah, the upside down. Less meditation, less discipline, more fun, less scheduling. I got so much accomplished and forgot how to feel that feeling. So I did the inner child work. Yeah, thank you. You can hear. Thank you. And that's what I did for the last couple of weeks. I'm like, okay, let me. But then we know that the consistency and that's it. It's not the schedule itself. It's what is it? And I'm not someone who meditates, right? I'm not someone. I'm like, my brain and meditation. I'm like, okay. And so I wanted a visualization. It's a 10-minute visualization, which I love visualizing. And being a billionaire, and I do tapping, and I'm like, okay, let me tap on. So I'm tapping and visualizing on the things that I want to manifest, rather than just doing meditation for the sake of it, just quieting my mind and sitting there on a prayer mat, on a mat, And so I get that, and having fun with emotional freedom. If it's not fun, I'm not doing it. So I try and bring fun into, so that's for me, like, okay, well, I want to set this routine and that consistency, because I'm consistently showing up, I'm consistently serving, I'm consistently eating well, so because I know that the outcome, but I want to make it fun. It's not a punishment. So I get that, definitely. And that feeling and doing the inner child work is massive, massive, massive. So thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. You do what feels good to you. When you're serving in the world and you have the business, oftentimes as light workers and service-based business owners and spiritual entrepreneurs,
we go on the feeling of whether we'll get out of bed today and serve. And when we're employed by someone else, we get on and do it anyway. And so for me, it's like, okay, well, how do I serve and show up in my business that feels in alignment, that feels good to my soul, that never feels like I'm working, so I can get it done? And so I can travel the world, and so I can manifest my brand, because that's going to take a level of serving and a level of receiving the money, right? So I love that. So thank you. So how you show up in your day. Next part of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is gratitude. Then I'm going to invite you to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge with me, and then I'm going to hop off and respect your time. So let me just check, actually, make sure I haven't missed anything out. I don't think I have. Asking it is given. Oh, there's something that I wanted to share, actually, the synchronicities, before I go into that, is when we're asking and it is given. And this is about serving as well. And I'm going to express gratitude for it, excuse me, is that when we're asking and things come to us and people come to us, and for me, what I teach is being in alignment with our soul clients, right? Bringing that spiritual essence. And when we ask and it shows up, it's like, it's mind blowing. So today I'm quite emotional I'm very passionate with my manifesting. And so Kalini and I, Shamanic Soul Star TV, like I say, she came to me through, actually, let me tell this story. So we've been connected for a while, and I don't know how long it is. And I was reaching out for co-authors for my co-author book series. And I was saying, you know, I've got spiritual awakening stories and I'm looking for co-authors to feature in the book. That happened to be a trigger for Colleen, because she didn't have a great experience of co-authoring, right? That's all I'll say on that. But I want to support my co-authors in actually showing up, speaking out, serving deep, and being in service in the world. Welcome. We're talking about spiritual freedom Saturday, if you are new to me. So Sovereign Empress says, I had a vision of this exact moment, synchronicity. No, what? Really? that right there. Do you see? Oh, wow. It makes me really emotional. It literally brings tears. No way, really. Wow. And this is the first time that you've been on with me live. I know that you felt my energy like all week, commenting on my YouTube videos. Wow. I'm just, for those who are listening, just basking in the energy. Wow. It makes me really emotional. So the story of Kalini being triggered, and I was like, whoa. And so I reach out via voice note and DM and what have you to my community, people that are connected to me. And she said, like, well, basically, like, you know, something along the lines of, this is my journey, and why are you even here in my inbox saying all these things to me? Like, basically, go away. Right? So I was like, whoa, like, what are your intentions? And I was like, whoa, this is my intention. I've been through spiritual awakenings, and I genuinely am here to support other spiritual women, to share other light workers, to share their spiritual awakenings and get the gifts out there. And so I was like, whoa. And so I was calm, and I shared a little bit of my journey, and she said, I'm so sorry, you know, like, I was triggered for blah, blah, blah. And anyway, we were good. I don't think we talked again. And she says, that was fine. And then Kalini went on a shamanic journey and implemented her own tools. She was going through an awakening, a dark night of the soul. And then when she opened her eyes about 30 minutes after going through this journey and getting guidance and asking for guidance, she saw my spiritual business vision board challenge on Facebook and was like, this is what I needed. And so it was about 8 weeks ago. It was like the second week in December. And so we've been working together since. And that guidance, and that, so when you go for a spiritual awakening, or you're at a low vibrational frequency, you can't always see what is in front of you. And then when it presents itself, because we've got like so many commonalities. So the reason why I mentioned that is because I put a vision, and I'll read your comment in a second. I say to work with our staff, our soul tribe avatar, the people that we have soul contracts to fulfill, right? And so we learned today, yes, I think it was Wednesday, we learned that we had the same book. We were like twinning. It said Cosmic Energy. And that really resonates with her journey. I was like, I hadn't even noticed that before. Cosmic Energy, Spiritual Freedom. But then today, because we speak every day. And so today we were talking about grace and ease, grace and flow, etc. And today I was like, I'm just going to tell this story because she's going to be featured about when you transition, you make your transition, rebirthing, all those things. That's part of her gifts and the healing. And I was saying, oh my God, this has been my journey. And I was talking about my journey of my losses. Sorry about that. That is going to keep going off. So I have to be mindful of that alarm. So I was talking about my losses and my mum's journey of where my mum had worked all of, like, from what I remember, she was a nurse in a psychiatric ward in a specific hospital, right? And so I said, I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. So Kalini said, and I asked permission to share this story, and she went, oh my gosh, my mum worked as a nurse in a psyche ward and she named the hospital that her mum worked in. It's the exact same name as the hospital that my mum worked in, but just not in the same county, just not in the same place in the UK. I was like, did she say that name? I was like, no way. And the fact that we're 50 and the fact that there's so many synchronicities in our journey, so many, when you ask, it is given. However, we almost didn't cross paths. If I would have reacted to her trigger, or if I hadn't have reached out, then we wouldn't be working together. So what I want to say to that is spirituality and spiritual freedom and our guidance, it doesn't always look smooth. It might look like friction sometimes, but when we trust it and follow it, beautiful things happen. So Sovereign Empress says, I'm serious. A goddess in the UK speaking on the exact things you're saying. My sister is in the UK, so I thought the vision was her. No way, really? Oh my gosh. You guys might have read that because I had that on the screen, but like, wow, is she really? So I'm saying about the synchronicities from another soul sister who's on here, and you say, like, literally I had this vision. Wow. And so the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, so today I was like, I'm gonna just flow, I'm gonna stay in bed and I'm gonna come and I'm gonna do it at this time, and I'm gonna, all of those synchronicities that lead up to the moment, trusting that vision, massive. Thank you so much for sharing that, because it's a confirmation for all of us. And for the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, this is what this is about. It's about raising our vibration and trusting. So I'm going to express gratitude, then invite you to the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, and then I'm going to hop off. All right. So the gratitude, the way that I say gratitude, and this is just for me. And if you've watched The Secret movie, you'll know that they have a gratitude stone. This is my gratitude rock. And my daughter gave me this when she was little, actually. She's like, Mum, I got a love heart for a stone. So it's actually a stone. My daughter's now 21. And so I like to say gratitude in this way. I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate, because that's how I want to feel every day. Sovereign Empress says, yes, she got her master's degree there and met her fiance. So she stayed here. Oh, wow. I wonder which part of the UK she's in. There's probably going to be another story and dance for that. And if you want to come to the Spiritual Women Entrepreneur and Lightworkers Networking call on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time, you're welcome to come. I will leave the link is on my website at thesoullegacyacademy.com. Or if you go on Facebook, you'll find the group. And I'd love to have you in there so we can share more time and see what this is. That's amazing. So I like to say I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate. Oh, excuse me. And that's what I call a call to conversation. It's not, this is my marketing, right? This is me sharing my gifts and getting out in the world so that we can come and collaborate. Okay, I'll check it out. Perfect. This is me. What I feel called to do is create a community where we can collaborate, where we can, that vision has something under it. And I'm really excited to hear what that is, because yeah, we don't get it for no reason. Awesome. So yeah, the spiritual women entrepreneurs networking group for a free monthly networking call. All right, so I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate it. So this gratitude that we express on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, living intentionally for me is being aligned with your vision, your values, and raising your vibration, bridging that gap. So when we're feeling at a lower vibrational frequency, we know we're not in alignment to manifest. That's just the way that the universe works. It's not how Iona Meade made it up. So I want to support you in raising your vibration, rising and residing at what I call the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency, that vibration that we wish to witness in the world. And so hopefully when you've left this podcast, it will fuel your day. So I'm happy and I'm grateful. And I appreciate something maybe from the past, something in the present, or something in the predicted future. And again, when you do your vision board challenge, in order for that to manifest, before it manifests, we need to be in vibrational alignment with it. That's just how it works. All right, so we're bringing the 7 freedoms for living intentionally. Again, contribution freedom. You can journal this even when I'm not with you. Journal it, feel it, be grateful for it. Then we'll do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge, then I'll hop off. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate contribution freedom. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the contribution that I'm able to make here right now to you. Right, that vision, I honor that vision that you have, because if I didn't show up, speak out, and serve deep, then we wouldn't meet. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate health freedom, all the food that I have, and the app that I have to help me track and tune into what makes me feel good in my body. Looking after my physical health is fueling me. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate emotional freedom. I feel a deep inner peace, and I feel and just really happy to be here with you, knowing that I have let go of fear, and I just have that sense of freedom, and it feels really, really, really aligned. It's just, it's amazing. It's such a beautiful feeling on the other side of fear. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my environment right now, being on YouTube, having a YouTube channel and having you guys on it, and you guys having a YouTube channel. Like, being able to connect feels amazing. Yes, I'm streaming on Facebook. Yes, I'm streaming on X, which is Twitter. Yes, I'm streaming in the Soul Legacy Academy, but YouTube is really lighting me up, and I appreciate that environment. So I appreciate YouTube. I'm happy and grateful, and I appreciate relationships. The relationship that I believe that we'll have, just being on the call, meeting new people, meeting new spiritual women who have a vision. Happy and grateful and appreciate the soul guidance, the synchronicity, spiritual freedom at its best. That right there, that synchronicity. That's what I appreciate. Knowing that our soul guidance brings us to the level of synchronicity, and we've got that awareness. I love that. That is what just fuels my days. Happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that my soul daughter and her boyfriend are coming to pick me up and taking me out for dinner. That takes money. A date night takes money, and we'll probably have cocktails, according to her. But I'm really, and I bought them both Easter eggs yesterday, And just being able to do that and not worrying about it is really, really nice. So having that financial freedom to be able to do that really lights me up as we do our work in the world. And this brings me to the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, and then I will let you guys go. That having the finances, gosh, again, sorry, chicken soup for the soul is calling me. Having the doing our light work in the world. You know, when we have fear about doing our light work fuels our lifestyle, right? So being in alignment with serving is going to actually help you to have the experiences in life. So life takes finances. It's as simple as that. But when we don't want to do a soul-sucking day job and we want to actually build a business and we want to have our YouTube channel so we can speak to our soul tribe, we need to know how to serve in a deeper way, which brings me to the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. I invite you to take the challenge and the commitment to living an intentional life, which includes all of the 7 areas that I've just talked about on the Vision Board Challenge. And so this journal is a magical journal, the Soul Legacy Journal. As the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, host at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, I wanted to support you and myself in trying on money, because there's so many stories around money. Rich people are greedy. I don't feel worthy, blah, 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 blah. Money's dirty, all the things, right? And we're in that poverty consciousness, which is a lower vibrational frequency because it has fear in there and scarcity and lack and doubt and worry and guilt and shame. You see where I'm going with it, right? The energy of money is actually using money as a tool can be uplifting if we allow it as light workers. Because as light workers, being so powerful, having so many gifts and being spiritually awake, we can make our difference in the world, but we can't have that energy exchange where everybody's taking everything for free. There's no free in freedom, or no freedom in free. You get what I mean, right? So how can we try on that vibrational money voucher? How can we spend our vibrational money? So this journal is going to help you move from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness. So I challenge you to bank 50K in 50 days with me every single day, whether you come with me live or not. Spend the vibrational money voucher. And in the spiritual, this is a different group. In the Spiritual Business Vision Board group, a Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, I have a visual, a vibrational money voucher for you to spend. When you do the Vision Board Challenge with me, you will now have a vision of the places that you want to travel and visit in the world, of the experiences, the date nights, the days that you want to, all of the things, the business that you want to run, whatever it is that you've got, investing, whatever it is that you've got on your vision board, a new home, whatever it is, takes money. So what I invite you to do is to spend this £1,000, dollars or euros every single day. Imagine with me and write down what it is that you're spending. Ask and it will be given. Let the universe know, actually, this energy exchange of money, I'm up for it. I'm going to ask. And it's just energy. I'm not going to do evils with it. I'm actually going to do good. I'm going to tithe 10% of that £1,000, dollars or euros to a worthy cause. Write down your worthy cause, right? Let's change the energy of money. Let's put it in our hands and put light in the world, birth light in the world for it. My worthy cause is Compassionate Friends, because it's a charity for bereaved parents, and I am one. I dedicate my work to my son. And so I know that I can do good, right? And so I will volunteer for Compassionate Friends and for kinship fostering, right? What worthy cause can you give money to? And I know a lot of people say, well, charities don't use the money, but create one then, or get involved in one where you can actually see. Charity Water is a popular one that supports whatever it is. Tithe 10%. So when you do get the physical money, you know that you will be someone who gives back, because that's what lights us up, right? The other money, spend it on your experiences on your vision board. Don't tell me that none of your the experiences on your vision board cost money. Because if they don't cost money, it means that you're thinking small, right? They do cost money. Life costs money. Me being here with you costs money. The phone costs money. The internet costs money. The ring light costs money. My big mat costs money. The book costs money. The t-shirt costs money. The earphones cost money. My hair costs money. The lipstick costs money. It costs money. YouTube costs money. It might not cost us money. We might be able to do it for free. It costs me money to stream out live. I'm paying StreamYard, right? It costs money. So like really granular. Spend the vibrational money voucher. If you don't want to spend all of it today, carry it over to the next day. Literally write it down in your journal what you're spending your vibrational money voucher on. They've got a version of this in the Ask and It Is Given book, the prosperity game. It works. When you're spending that money, feel the things that you're spending it on and come and share it in the vision board group, right? Buddy up with somebody, have accountability to take on this Bank 50K in 50 days challenge, right? So there's rules to the game. We type 10%. We come from the space of, I know you commented on this, Sovereign Empress, that all your bills are done, paid, all good to go. Taxes are paid, savings are done. It's a very different energy than poverty. Prosperity and poverty are not the same energy. If you are vibrating on lack, it is a lower vibrational frequency, which is affecting me and it's affecting the universe, other people on the planet. So we want to raise our vibration for that. I've got 1-1 on my timer, and it's going to go to all the ones. See it there. Right, so if you do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge, what I invite you to do is purchase my book. It's called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a Soul Guided Influencer's Compass to Leverage Your Lightwork and Lifestyle on YouTube. That is what I'm doing for the 7 freedoms, balancing your life and your work, manifesting more life-work balance, and come to my masterclass so that I can share with you the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge and walk you through doing it in the visible world. I have a 1-page plan that supports you in creating $1 million a year business model. And my alarm's going to go off again, so I want to hop off. And it supports you in serving one to many. It supports you in feeling in alignment with contributing and receiving the money so that you can have more time, energy, and money freedom. I love it. Bank 50K in 50 days challenge is something that I felt called to do. And when you are in alignment with the financial freedom, you will see that actually that fuels every other area of your life. Emotionally, it takes the doubt, fear, and worry out of your mind. So you're free to create. And I'll talk about it on Financial Freedom Sunday, which is tomorrow. So I invite you to do that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for spending all of this time with me. I haven't been on live like a few weeks, so I'm like getting back into it. It's gone over an hour. I like to keep it an hour. If you are doing the challenge with me, let me know. Come to our monthly call. Again, that is for spiritual women, entrepreneurs, and light workers. It's a free monthly networking call. It happens on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. Invite other soul sisters in. Men are invited too. But I think that women just aligned, and that's kind of my tribe. I don't exclude men in my work. Come to the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. The masterclass, it happens on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. When you sign up for the monthly call, you'll see the link for the masterclass. You'll see the link to get a free chapter of my book. You'll see a link to my Movement Marketing Media Kit challenge so that you can show up, speak out, and serve deep. I teach what I'm doing, right? So when you come into my world and we talk about your spiritual awakening story, and if you want to be a co-author in my co-author book series and you're in alignment and soul match, then we can talk about that as well on the monthly call. I think that is it. I have, again, the chicken soup for the soul. Sorry. That is the alarm. I'm going to have to change that so it doesn't override. But I've enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you found it of value. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share this episode out. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your energy. If you're watching on the replay, it still applies to you. You've been with me consistently throughout this episode. I know that sometimes it's like, I'm just listening. And that's why I will download this as a podcast at the Soul Legacy TV on Spotify and all of the other podcast platforms. So that is it for today. Be blessed in your purpose, share your gifts, and shine your light. I think there's another one. This was great. Thank you so much. Every single Saturday, we talk about Spiritual Freedom Saturday. So anything that you've got for today, any aha moments, any light bulbs, come back and let me know. Come back daily, right? But come back with the episode that really speaks to you. I have a 2-hour monthly coaching call, which actually supports you in the implementation of this. So if you come to the masterclass, I share with you how I gift that 2-hour coaching call to my students, because I'm so mindful that as spiritual YouTubers, we do, when we talked about the YouTube creator where she experienced that burnout and she experienced that not manifesting life-work balance. It's so important. So I'm really happy that you thought it was great. So share your gifts, shine your light, because you are born to serve. Be blessed in your soul purpose. Big, 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 big love. And I will see you on the next episode at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. Take care.